Well, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Hedera Hashgraph HBAR in this video. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, my friends, and let's get into it. We're sitting here at about 27 cents right now, looking like from a high to a low. What we've done is we pulled back to our golden ratio, the 61869. It had a very nice look as though it were breaking out of this kind of consolidation phase here. It looked like you were breaking out, and you might be. You might have broken out. What you could be doing now is back testing for support. But the thing is you can back test this line for support at lower areas than you broke out, right? You could continue to back test this down here. Maybe you find some kind of a triple bottom and then you bounce up from here, but I wouldn't even be surprised at this point in time if HBAR were to see lower lows than its most recent lows too. A lot has happened over the past couple of days, past few days now, that's led me to believe that the market itself might be ready for a 20% correction, essentially from its current prices, or maybe the opening price of the day. HBAR could be absolved. I don't expect every coin to drop 20% or more over the coming week. I don't expect every coin to do it, but most of them on average I think will. HBAR could be one of them that doesn't. Maybe it drops 5%, maybe it drops 10%, maybe it drops 25%. We'll figure that out, hopefully. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe. Let's try and figure this out here. So low to high. Yeah, I mean, to be completely fair, low to high with HBAR, the next target area that would make the most sense would be the 382. And you're at about 27 cents now. That seems a bit intense though, does it not? I mean, that's a 40% drop from here. So to me, that just seems unlikely. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's completely possible, but to me, that seems a bit unlikely. You know, your daily RSI, it doesn't even look that bad. It looks like you could go a little bit lower, but a little bit lower, not quite 40% lower. If HBAR, I want to entertain this idea real quick. If HBAR were to see prices down at 16.6 cents, okay, it would happen so fast that by the time that you had the gumption, the panic in you to sell, it would probably recover rather immediately, right? So don't sell even if that does happen. I don't expect HBAR to pull back to 16.6 cents. I know that we had talked about that. I know that we addressed that. I literally called for that. It was either this day or this day. It was one of the exact top days we were talking about that. And then ever since you found support on the 236, we've adjusted those targets, right? But 16 cents, 16.6 cents, this is the first time in probably weeks that we've, I would say, had a reason to call for it. Okay, the only thing that doesn't make sense to me would be that that's a 38% drop. I don't see HBAR dropping 38%. Let's actually validate that. Let's look at that real quick. Let's look at HBAR here versus others. Okay, HBAR versus others. HBAR USD versus others. Because this others is the majority of crypto, right? It's the altcoin chart essentially. So we're going to look at this chart, HBAR. Compare it. You know, maybe what I'd rather do is I'd rather do others versus HBAR so I can actually get a number. Others HBAR, right? Because you see it just says 0 over here. HBAR USD crypto, and then others. There we go. Boom. Enter. Now we've actually got numbers to go off of. Okay, so this is others versus HBAR. So if this goes down, that implies that HBAR is outperforming the markets. If this goes up, HBAR is underperforming the markets. Okay, so I'm saying that based off of these fibs, if HBAR were to break below 23 cents, the next plausible area that makes the most sense would be about 16.6 cents. And that makes sense on a retracement basis because moving up at such a strong pace, pulling back to your 382, that's a very normal thing to do. It actually is an incredibly normal thing to do. But going all the way down to 16.6 cents, seeing a 40% drop while the rest of the market I think is going to see a 20 to 25% drop, that seems a bit not normal to me for HBAR. So this chart should help us determine that. If we see this going down, then this would agree that HBAR probably doesn't go down here. If it doesn't go down here, likely you find some kind of triple bottom or maybe even a higher low, and you see less of a drop compared to the average coin over the coming days, which is great for HBAR. If it looks like we're going to move up, well, then perhaps HBAR does see a bit of a larger drop than the average coin is what that would imply. So let's look at this here. Looking at it on a weekly basis, this is a very oversold chart. You could get more oversold, that's for sure, but pretty damn oversold. Almost looks like a double bottom there. I want to put support right here, going back in time, kind of in the middle of nowhere. This is kind of an obscure chart in itself too, so we might not get as much from it, but let's just see real quick. Relative low to relative high. at the area. You could bounce from here. To be completely fair, you could bounce from here. Daily time frame, double bullish divergence, but also higher highs in the RSI while promoting lower highs. And really what you have is not just lower highs, but like decreasing highs here and then a flat base. It's a bit of a bearish continuation pattern, right? I mean, look at what happened last time. You sold off here. Look at your RSI. You got oversold. Okay. Then you came up. You were only this high when you were this high in the consolidation phase, and that was enough to send you down. That was enough to send you down a lot lower, right? You've cooled off a lot more on the selling basis for this, and all you've done, you've gone higher in the RSI, but all you've done is produce lower lows and lower highs. So I would think this goes lower, which is good. That actually would imply then that HBAR does not see the average drop. The average drop, I think, is going to be 20 to 25%, which would imply, right, if it's going to see less than that, maybe HBAR does find support at the 236. Maybe you do form some kind of triple bottom, a rare occurrence, but it could be a triple bottom. If not, perhaps a higher low, but you're at 27 cents now. I don't think you go below 23 cents, or if you do, it will not be by much. I don't think you do, because if you were to go really too much below 23 cents, you would likely see at least 16.6 cents, and I can't make sense out of that with this chart here. It doesn't make any sense to me. You know, other than you're pretty damn oversold, but that doesn't mean that you have to. You could be oversold for a longer amount of time, right? You don't have to. Sorry, I meant to do that down here. You don't have to bounce from here. You could absolutely keep going down or slowly moving down, right? Monthly RSI. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, this looks like a project that was working its way up and then it just rug pulled overnight, right? This it's not going to stop here. It's going to go to the floor, but maybe not. But yeah, man, I think that HBAR, in comparison to others, definitely would agree that it doesn't drop as intense. If we look at the 4-hour time frame here, getting those higher highs with lower highs as well. You're getting oversold, but you're not getting overbought, right? When you do get overbought, it's very fast. When you get oversold, it's plentiful, right? And even sometimes deeper than that, right? So, and anytime that you live above the 50, right above this line here, your bullish areas, it's very short-lived in comparison to the amount of time that you spend in the oversold area, right? Or the lower areas, I should say, not the oversold area. So yeah, I think this thing does go down, right? Boom, cool, good to know. Spend enough time on that. I don't really have anything else that I want to say. I don't think there's anything that's necessary to say. HBAR likely does hold support at 23 cents, and then sometime probably starting the second week of January. Sorry, I just minimized that. Starting the second week of January, I think we would see this move resume to the upside, and then we would be on a path to, what were the targets? Path up to like $1.21 to $3.15, all by the end of January. Genuinely by the end of January, that could happen, right? From a low to a high point here, HBAR. Let's just see. From your lows there. I mean, maybe you don't go as high as 315. I suppose it's possible, but something above $2 is absolutely possible by the end of January for HBAR, if not at least around $1.21. So that's it, guys. That's all I got for you. A little bit of consolidation. It makes sense. It really does make sense. I want to say this real quick too to end the video. If anybody watched this video that I made yesterday, where is it? Let me see. It's this one, top coins, top crypto coins, the great race to glory and riches is what I named it. For whatever reason, I named it that way. HBAR was the top performer out of all those coins. We compared it to Bitcoin, and I compared like 16 different coins in that video to each other. HBAR was largely the top performer of a lot of these top coins that people look at in the crypto space, okay? It would make sense that the top performer probably doesn't drop as much as the rest of the markets, right? It probably doesn't. So it would make sense that this, over the coming days, when I do expect the rest of the market to drop about 20% from the current valuations, that this thing might hold up better. So if it's been performing better on the upside, it's probably going to perform better on the downside as well. That's all I wanted to leave you with. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Hit the like button, you guys. Bye-bye.